Hi, I'm Jennifer Wild, and you're listening to Sober Exposure. If it's about recovery, we're gonna cover it. It's like one big therapy session, but it's free. So thanks for joining our dysfunctional family as we uncover recovery with Sober Exposure. Let's go. What's up, guys? Sober Exposure with Jennifer Wild and... Oh, wait, that was the wrong button. I'm trying to give you claps.
Wow.
Not a way to kick it up. So we have Brimstone, pro wrestler, and everything else. And I invited Brimstone on the show just because he's just an inspirational guy, man. Like, you're like jack of all trades. You've done everything. And everybody, you just said this in your text before the podcast. A lot of people that listen to Sober Exposure suck at life. So Brimstone's like, I suck at life. So let's talk about sucking at life, how to overcome, what to do. I do a lot of entrepreneurial stuff, and just we'll start it with a quick background of who you are, what you do, and that's it.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say finally Brimstone has made it. The Sober Exposure with my girl, Jen. I am so psyched to be here. See that gorgeous face across the screen from me. I am loving it. It's been too long since we've had the opportunity to go face to face, because last time was maybe a few months ago on a phone, and we still haven't hung out in person, but we will make that happen.
That's happening.
In terms of saying I suck at life, I was just joking. And to be completely blunt, nobody sucks at life. You just have to learn how to, kind of work around the rough edges. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to. I have a lot of friends in the entertainment industry, where they've had multiple issues, whether it's, alcohol abuse, substance abuse, cutting themselves, whatever it is that I've had to deal with. And even though I don't personally have those issues myself, I've helped people work through them. And, I'm assuming we're going to talk about that a little bit today.
Yeah.
If you want to know a little bit about me, I've been in the entertainment industry for over 40 years. I started on Sesame Street and Romper Room. That's how far back I go.
Okay. I see. Like, I would sit there and watch Romper Room and wait for Sally or whatever to say my name. And if she didn't, I'd freaking like cry for days. And I don't want to talk too much about the Sesame Street thing, but we have to, because this is so pertinent. First of all, I spent like all night last night trying to find your childhood Sesame Street episodes. You got to send those to me.
I can't find them myself. I only have some pictures. It really sucks. It really does.
I mean, like, you being on Sesame Street is almost like me as an adult meeting Dave Grohl, because there was a period where my mother said to me, she's like, and I turned out to be, obviously, this is why I have a sober show, a pretty rebellious child, a bad kid. But I guess I had a really hard time. I still need Sesame Street because I still can't read, but I'm just kidding. I can read, but I can't, anyway. My mother sat me down. She's like, Jennifer, listen, it's time that we break away from Sesame Street.
Oh,
like, I swear to God.
How dare she?
I was like 18. No, I don't know. I think I had a thing with friggin' Miss Piggy. I wanted to have a lesbian experience with her or something. I don't know. But anyway.
Well, that's the Muppet Show. But, but that's okay, because it's still Muppets and puppets, and I'm good with that.
Whatever, same thing. Kermit, you got Kermit the Frog, you got Ernie.
He was
and Bert.
on both sides. Yeah.
Wait, I was gonna say, were Ernie and Bert? I don't know. Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what happened to offset, but on set they were pure gentlemen. That's all I gotta say.
All right, I love it. Off air, I want to talk more about Sesame Street. I'm serious, because I'm obsessed with it, and I can't believe like it's still on the air, right?
Yeah. I don't know where it's airing now. I don't think it's on PBS anymore. And it could be. It's been so long, because my kids are older now. My daughter is my youngest is 11, so she's kind of out of that phase. But it was on PBS when she was younger, when she was a baby, and it was funny because, speaking about it, since we're on the subject.
Yeah, because I have another question about it too. Go.
Okay. Well, so I was signing at New York Comic Con, and you're talking about, oh my God, however many years ago. And my little one Haley was probably about 2 or 3 years old at the time, and she was infatuated with Elmo. And I found that Elmo and the guy who played the Elmo character, they were also signing at New York. So I actually spoke with the Sesame Street people behind the scenes in the green room, and they escorted my wife and my little one across the, what do you call it, the entire place, to go to the private room that they were doing the showing with Elmo and Gordon, who I was actually on air with years ago. And they got to take pictures, and so they brought him in front of everybody, which was fantastic. And then as soon as I was able to get over there, they escorted me over there, so this way I was able to see Gordon and everything again, and meet and meet Elmo. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Kids who meet Elmo is like me meeting friggin' a young Robert Plant. I'm telling you. So Gordon, there were two. See, I know my Sesame Street trivia. There were actually two Gordons, I believe.
This is the original Gordon. I don't know if there was a second Gordon. I think that they had somebody that looked similar to him after he was off the show, but I could be wrong. I don't.
Mr. Hooper still alive?
Mr. Hooper, I think, has been gone for a long time.
He was like 100 when we were watching.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, no.
Okay.
He was old then. He's old now. And I mean, and we just lost Carol not too long ago. I reunited with Carol Spinney. Maybe about 5-6 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. I don't remember time wise. Carol Spinney was Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch. So we were signing at the Philadelphia Comic-Con. And it was funny because the promoter I've known for a long time, he goes, "Listen, Brim, I want you to do something. I need you to host the panel for me." I'm like, "All right, sure." Because, whenever you need somebody in the clinch, that knows what they're doing and also has clout, he asks me. So he's like, "Look, I know you're supposed to be signing, but can you gotta go over there and do this for me?" I was like, "Sure." So I've done it for friends of mine from Walking Dead. I've done it for what do you call it, George Takei when requested, and and I was like, I'll do it now. But what's it for? And he goes, "You'll know when you get there." I go, "Come on, Chris, you got to tell me what we're doing." He goes, "I can't tell you, but you're going to be excited about it." I was like, "Okay." So I wound up walking into a PBS, what do you call it, panel, and I was not only the host, but I was also one of the guests. So it was myself, Carol, and what do you call it, Speedy Delivery from what do you call it?
Mr. Wasn't that Mr. McFeely?
Mr. McFeely, yeah, from Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
So that was a lot of fun, and I hosted that, reconnected, and then we signed with each other for the rest of the con. And it was just being able to reconnect with him after not seeing him for so many years. I was a kid, I was a baby, I was 5 years old. So
I was going to ask you, when you were doing the public appearance, were you doing it as Brimstone or were you doing it as the guest on Sesame Street?
No, Brimstone. Yeah.
I know, of course.
Yeah.
So, right. Okay. So, all right, you're a pro wrestler. What's that like? I mean, give us a little insight of what that's like. Is it fake? Is it real? I know there's different kinds. I don't know a lot about this.
It hurts.
I bet.
That's what it is. Listen, it's staged. I hate to break to everybody, but it's staged. But it's as real as it can be because, I'm 300 plus pounds. Now, given I'm retired, I'm out of the ring. If I'm jumping up on the top rope and I'm launching into the air and landing on somebody, it doesn't matter how much give is in the ground. Doesn't matter how much you protect yourself or I protect the person. It's still 300 plus pounds coming down on your body. You know what I'm saying? Now, for those of you ladies out there who have large men that you are intimate with, I'm sure you know how sometimes it can be crushing when they're on top of you. So at the end of the day, if you're jumping from the top ropes and landing on somebody, it still hurts. If there's a camera in your face and you have to lay in punches, if you are too light on that and you don't make any contact, guess what? It looks fake. So you need to make sure to lay them in. So at the end of the day, you're taking slaps to the head, you know what I mean? More than you probably should. Steel chairs are steel chairs. Tables are tables. I mean,
yeah, tables.
Power bombs.
Yesterday, I got so pissed I threw a steel chair. I swear to God, I'm not lying. But anyway, but like, I hate to bring it back to the drugs, but I am because I love drugs. So with all that and all that pain and everything, I imagine there's a lot of shit going around in that arena. Excuse the pun. No, yes, and
well, there is, and I mean, listen, there's always going to be in any type of entertainment, no matter what it is. There's always going to be temptation. There's always going to be things that are around that other people are doing, and you have the opportunity to say, yeah, let me try it, or no, I'm going to steer clear of that. Now, the fact that I grew up, I grew up in a not so great area, Still love where I come from, Uniondale, New York, home of the Nassau Coliseum. But I was one of the only white kids. And I grew up fighting. I grew up, as seeing a lot of people that were doing drugs and so forth. And I saw a lot of shit. Pardon my French. I have not cursed. I apologize.
But
I didn't
yeah,
know.
fucking don't curse on my fucking show, motherfucker.
I didn't.
Please.
I didn't know if it was a cussing show or not. So I'm very respectful. So what do you call it? That being said, I saw what was happening. I had a lot of friends in hip hop. I saw what was going on there. And then when I got into what do you call it, music, and I was playing and I was out there, I saw so much that I was like, you know what? I don't want to take any chances. I drank a little bit, but I've never done drugs. I've never even smoked weed.
Oh my God.
Like to be completely blunt, I'm very, very, I'm not straight edge, but I don't want a part of it. And because I've seen what it's done to people.
That, yeah.
And to be fair, I know in terms of drinking, I know when to stop. I know when my father has a issue, or had an issue where, he's not an alcoholic, but he can tend to drink a little bit too much. So at the end of the day, you see things, you know what I mean? But the reason why he drinks is because he was in Vietnam, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
sometimes he does it just to forget. Like this,
See,
people have different reasons for doing these things. In music, you're either doing it because you try to be cool and hang with everybody, or because you're trying to cut the edge off because you're afraid to go out and play in front of X amount of people. You know what I mean? You have to take
yeah.
that edge off. You don't want to be nervous. You don't want those butterflies in your stomach. To this day, Jen, and I've been in entertainment for 40 plus years. I've been in front of people for that many years. I still get the butterflies in my stomach when I'm about to go out and speak to a giant group of people, or when I'm
Yeah.
sitting to talking to 5, 10 people. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't
Yeah.
make a difference. Do I do it and I do it well? Of course. But at the end of the day, you still get those butterflies. So, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. That's normal. That's life.
And those butterflies are sort of a form of adrenaline and
Yeah.
endorphins, and that's kind of a drug. That's like when I was back in my radio heyday, back in the day, when I'd go up on stage and like be like, "Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, WMMS presents Pearl Jam," and for the crowd, like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, there is nothing like that.
No, there's nothing, and being a musician, there's nothing like being up on stage and watching as everybody sings your lyrics back to you. You know what I mean? Like there's so much adrenaline there already that you don't need that extracurricular stuff, but people still use it. Just now going back to wrestling. And again, look, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like there are ways to kind of bend around it, or at least try to bend around it and keep yourself healthy. I don't want to ever come off disrespectful and be like, well, you shouldn't do this, because that's not who I am. I want to help people and teach people that, you know what, you're good enough as you are. You don't need anything else. You don't need the alcohol to be a fun person. You don't need, you know what I mean, to take steroids, because I was getting back to the wrestling thing as you were talking. You asked
Hmm.
that question. You don't need to take steroids in order to, become the status quo of what they feel a wrestler should look like. I don't have abs. I never had abs. I was very successful in my career, and I don't need to prove myself to anybody else. And you don't need to prove yourself to anyone else. And nobody else needs to prove themselves to anybody else. The fact of the matter is, all you have to do is prove yourself to yourself. You know what I mean? You have to feel
Yeah.
comfortable in your own skin. And you know what? I know that you were very public about it. You just had a little bit of a relapse. Guess what?
Yeah.
We're human. Accidents happen. Things happen. You wanted a little taste of whatever you had to taste of. It is what it is. Now you're back on the freaking wagon, and you're working towards, being healthy. And that's it. And I respect that. And I respect people more for, getting on and falling off, because, we're all normal. We're all it's natural, to fail at things. But failure, just like in business and in entertainment, failure creates the seeds of growth and moving forward. You cannot move forward if you don't fail. It's just a matter of how many times you pick yourself back up and continue to plant those seeds in order to grab those vines and swing into the future. So the fact of the matter is that, I've dealt with a lot of friends that have had these substance issues. And all I can do is be
and
a
they've all
source.
come on my show. No,
Yeah, well, no, not all of them. Some of them would never. But some of them, I've gone to the extent of getting them on the Dr. Phil show, just so that he would put them into what do you
a
call it, a
program.
program. I think you and I have had that conversation.
Yeah.
I've had other friends that they just can't stop because they've got things in their life that are not going well for them. But then again, on the split screen, they're these ginormous superstars. They're superstars, and people love and adore them. But they're in their own little world because in entertainment, you're in your own little bubble. So you always
Yeah.
feel like you're by yourself. You always feel like, well, I don't have anybody else or anybody to lean on and so forth.
And it doesn't even have to be an entertainment because like when you have this affliction, I mean, I could have all the love in the world, friends, family, everything all around me, not a celebrity, but friends and family and loved ones. And
Oh, yeah.
I have everything that I could possibly want in life. But yet, you feel alone. And no matter what, it's just, I feel like it's just something that there's just a disconnect in the brain, with addiction. It's just something that you're friggin' born with. But yeah, it's what you do with it that matters. Once you are aware, it's your responsibility to take action and do something about it. So you don't die or kill someone else in the process.
Right. And the sad thing is that I've also seen a lot of people take their own lives. Friends of mine that, I've known for years, some that I haven't seen in years, some that I saw a few days before. I mean, there's the, they feel the need that they're in such a depressed situation and they feel like they failed or whatever it is that they're feeling, that they feel the need to take their lives. And for those of you out there who have ever had those feelings and those issues, I don't know if you can put this in your show notes, but there's help. There's always somebody out there that's willing to help you, whether it be a family member, a friend, or there are hotlines. If you can drop hotlines, Jen, that would
Of
be great
course,
for
suicide
people.
prevention hotline. Yes.
There's always somebody that's willing to talk to you. Hell, for God's sake, if you can't find anybody, message me on social media, and I promise you, I will respond to you personally, and I'll get back to you, and I will try to get you help. Now, I'm not saying that everybody should just send me, a bunch of things, but if you need help, I'm there for you. Just like the hotline is. I have no problem trying to put you in the right direction, or try to talk you off a ledge. I've done it before. I'm good at it. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't want you to take your own life. It's not worth it. Nothing is worth that. So that being said, I just there's something that goes on, and I guess it has a lot to do with depression, anxiety,
Mhm.
and other things that I guess you would know more about the medical in terms of anything other than I know depression, anxiety is a big one for a lot of people that causes them to do, whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah, yeah, and there's a lot of people that have mental health issues that just aren't addicts. But for the ones that are addicts with mental health issues, we are self-medicating. That's what I did my whole life, was self-medicated my pain,
Yeah.
that I was born with. I believe there was a disconnect in my brain, and I'm getting this TMS therapy. I don't know if you saw that stuff I'm doing. I'm getting like it's like Woody Woodpecker on my brain. You should look into it in case someone comes to you. It's definitely a good solution for depression. And he's not shitting you, man. He definitely will. Like, Brimstone will get back to you. Like, don't spam him. But like, if you're really going through something, and if you like respect Brimstone and a fan or whatever, like, and you're going through something, then I know firsthand that he will be there for you. And that's why I wanted you on the show, because you are just like, you helped me so much too. Like, even with when I first started the podcast and we met, and just, you didn't know me from Adam. And I like I said, I was like, this guy doesn't even want to sleep with me. He's married. He doesn't want to sleep with me. Maybe he does, but he's not acting like he's not acting on it, and just genuinely helping me. And we just don't have that enough in this world anymore. People are all about themselves.
Well, that's the problem. Is a lot of people are very much 100% about themselves, and they don't care about anybody else or anything else, and they just care about the A1 since day one, as Mr. Greer always says from Grindhouse Radio. One of my co-hosts. What do you call it? The fact of the matter is that you should be, especially if you're in a place where you can help others along, or you can help to care about other people or give back. We do a lot of giving back at Grindhouse. I do a lot of giving back. I do a ton of charity work because I feel that, the people that there are people out there that have put me into the position that I'm in, that I have the opportunity to do the things that I get to do. And what do you call it? And some of these people, they deserve, the assistance back. They deserve the love back. And, you never forget where you come from. You never forget the people that came up with you. You never forget the people that helped you get to where you are. And, there are a lot of people, unfortunately, don't have the same, they don't feel that the same way.
Yeah, they do forget. I've met many of them too.
It is what it is. I mean, there are people that, that I've helped, that I've helped through tough times, without expecting anything or caring. A matter of fact, I didn't I made sure that nobody knew about it. Even right now, I'm not telling you who the people are that I'm talking about. I want to
ask you so bad. Like, what celebrities did you help? Who got, what'd they get high on, or what's their problem?
I can tell you off air, not on air. It's not a public thing, but
yeah.
Well, but here's the thing is that the people that I'm talking about, it is a very public thing, and you've seen it in the news, and you've seen it happening. But I'm not gonna. I don't need to I don't need to excel myself forward because of other people's issues. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm there as their friend. I'm not there as someone else in the industry. It's just as if neither one of us are celebrities. You are my friend. What can I do to make you whole again? What can I do to help you? What can I do to put you in the right direction and get you the help that you need? But again, it's up to that other person
to follow through. That's the problem. We don't follow through.
and unfortunately that is the case in a lot of different scenarios, where people just, they don't want to be in, they don't want to have that addiction. They don't want to be addicted to it. But at the end of the day, they once they have the opportunity to jump out, they kind of still want to stay and keep, hold of that addiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we don't want to let go. It's acceptance. Yeah, step one. Yeah. So, all right. Pro wrestler, awesome career, kick ass, and then you get old and you can't do it anymore. I'm just kidding.
I can still do most of the things that I did when I was 20 now. Let's just say that. I still got the swirl. I'm good. I'm all right. What do you call it?
I believe it.
My wife is happy. But
yeah.
I don't do the Dirty Little Secrets Club for nothing, man. No.
Ooh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, so okay, so I'm old now. Go ahead, continue.
No, so how do you make the transition? Because listen, I got old, people, and I had to kind of reinvent myself, and I actually am struggling with that. You seem to have just embraced it and done it in such a brilliant way, but you're an entrepreneur, but like making that transition from something that you've been doing for so long that you love. How did you get out of that and just like figure out the next step in your life? Because a lot of this is about next step in our life. Mm-hmm. How do you do that? How do you go through that process?
Well, a thing that it all has in common is effed up things happen to me, which caused a reason for me to kind of make some kind of a lateral move or decide that, hey, I want to do something a little bit different. There are a lot of things that a lot of bad people out there, and just like there are a lot of demons that other people have. I have people that are demons that have tried to hurt me over the years. So sometimes
they obviously weren't trying to hurt you physically, because you'd kick their asses from here to next side of the world.
But the internet is a wonderful place where you've got these pigs and trolls that are out there that all they do is sit there and try to break people down. And most of them have done absolutely nothing with their lives whatsoever. The fact of the matter is, with me, I've always been the person in general from the beginning that I just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. I'm a former drummer. I still drum. What do you call it? But I walk to my own beat. I've always said, you know what? If I want to try this, I'm going to do it. I might not excel in it, but I want to do it. And if I want to see something brought into the world, I want to do it, because we only have so much time here on earth. And I want to be able to leave not only a legacy, but I also want to leave a good enough financial structure for my family when it's time for me to go. You know what I mean? But legacy wise, it's huge. It's huge for me. Let's not forget who most of us do it for. We do it because we're supporting our families, and we want to make sure that our kids have more than what we had growing up. And for me, that's big. So in terms of transition, some things, like I said, were forced. Where it's like, all right, well, I have to make a decision on whether I want to continue to do this, or I want to jump into this, or and other things were not. Now, in terms of pro wrestling, the wrestling was a little bit of the acting. Wrestling was a little bit of the
Mhm.
sports from school days, and you know, uh, put it all and throw it into one, create this character. What's the next natural progression of a professional wrestler? Professional wrestlers are what in the ring? They're real life superheroes, right? We're up there, we're slamming people around, these big monsters in the ring, and you're looking up going, "Oh my God, look at these guys." So I said, when I got into the industry, I wanted to make sure that I had a clear cut gimmick, a clear cut character, which I did. I'm from the old school days. So my character wasn't just any guy with an attitude problem. It was a character, you know what I mean? It's Brimstone, what do you call it? He protected the gates of hell and blah 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 blah, stupid crap, whatever. But I took it and I spun it into the comic book because I said, if I don't want to be 60, 70 plus years old and still be in the ring. And there's nothing wrong with the people that are. Ric Flair is out there still. He's yeah, he's an icon. What do you call it? You've got other guys out there that have what I mean, gone till all ages. But I didn't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
You didn't want to be the Tom Brady of wrestling.
No, 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 no.
Right.
And I mean, look, and I'm out there, but I'm not those iconic guys. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to sit there and to continue being, in the ring. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to be back in the ring again here and there. And everybody jokes around with me all the time. They're like, "You should get back in. You should get back in." I'll tease it every so often and think about it. But as of right now, I'm sitting and nursing, bone spurs on my shoulders, torn meniscus, and I'm not even wrestling. So what do you call it? I've got some time. That being
So
said,
there's some days that I wouldn't mind you getting in the ring with my boyfriend. No, I'm just kidding. See, I just always had.
with your boyfriend, I didn't know you were seeing somebody, Jen.
Nah, I don't have a boyfriend. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
you're lying. You're lying, and you're looking at him right now, aren't you? Look at that.
No.
Look at that.
See, that's another thing. Sex and love addiction, when you just can't be with one person.
There you go. It's true. And I have a friend that I sent you about that as well.
Oh, I love her. She's so amazing.
She hasn't been on yet, right? Because
Kendra. No, we're working on it. She's
Okay.
got some issues right now, but Kendra is my girl,
Mhm.
and she's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet,
I
sweet
love you. Yeah.
as candy. Love her to death. Gorgeous. Just like you. Fantastic people. But anyway, in terms of the whole wrestling thing, I took that and then I grabbed the story, and along with one of my other friends, we who was a writer, we put it into a format, created a Bible for it, then did a whole series, spun into what was supposed to be an animated series, kids books. Then from there, I started touring and supporting the comic books. So I was signing at all the comic book conventions again and all that jazz. And when I was doing that, I reconnected with friends. One of them being Peter Mayhew, who's Chewbacca from Star Wars, and him and his wife Angie. They saw everything I was doing, and Pete was at the time trying to get his children's books out, and Angie was like, "Look, do you think that you'd be able to, what do you call it, publish our books and help us out?" I was like, "Anything for you guys," because I loved Pete and Angie, and still love Angie and Pete, but Pete passed away, as everybody knows, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's who. Oh my goodness.
And it's that's another thing of being able to meet you and become friends with your heroes. Unfortunately, a lot of them are a lot older than you, and things. It is what it is. So I've lost
Mhm.
Pete, I've lost Stanley, I've lost what do you call it, Carol Spinney. I mean, there's been a lot of loss.
Mhm.
But that being said, we keep on moving. We keep on moving. You can't let the bad times get you down, because that's what gets you into too much trouble.
Yeah.
But that being said, when I was doing all this, and I was back on tour on the road, it's the next natural progression, Jen. So like when I was doing, now I've got the comics going, but now I'm on the road again. I said, well, I want to do something more because now I'm seeing the insides of of the arenas. I'm seeing, the convention centers, the insides of hotel rooms. I said, but I'm not seeing the cities that I'm going to. And it was the same thing when I was wrestling, touring all over the place. I'm not seeing anything other than planes, trains, and automobiles, and that's it. And and I wanted to see more stuff. So I was like, at the time, my director of operations for Hound Comics, which I developed because Pete and Angie had wanted to come to me, and then I built that into a big publishing company. But what do you call it? But Hound Comics Inc. What do you call it? So my director of operations, Eitan Wish, I said to him, I go, look, I need to do something more. He goes, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, I want to go and do something other than this. He goes, well, what
Yeah.
is that? I said, well, I like to eat. He goes, well, yeah, we know that. I said, screw you, Eitan. And then I go, well, I like to talk. He goes, yeah, we know that. I said, shut up, Eitan. And then I said, let's do something with food. So Food Hound Tidbits was born. And what do you call it? We wound up doing the foodie stuff. And the next natural progression for that was the sauces and seasonings and so on and so on. The coffee line, the candy line, and then all of that stuff. Then I took and I put it and wrote it into the comic book. So this way, the fans of the comic book know, you know what I mean, know about the sauce and seasonings,
Yeah,
and vice versa. So,
dude, you're just a born entrepreneur. You got the cup. Okay. So we're both members of the tribe. You got the Jewish club.
yeah,
You got the business, but you got, not everybody can pull all that off. And then now also this is what I'm jealous of, because this is my arena, is the voiceover work that you do with the video games and all that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Tell us about that. What the hell? How do you do that?
It's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of strain on your voice if you're doing a lot. But at the end of the day, I enjoy the hell of it out of it. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I absolutely am one of those guys, and was one of those kids that purposely made all the noises and squeaky sounds, and kind of got down to the gravelly voice and then went all the way up to, you know what I mean? It's just
do
back
more
and
of that.
forth.
Do more of that.
No, I don't want to blow anybody's mind. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually using the really high register voice for a new character called Beazle, which is I'm going to start working on that. I think we're starting to do some audio work for that soon. But that's for the Brush Brigade, which is currently in getting ready to get into production. It's a pre-production right now. And
will you do the rest of the podcast in Beazle's voice?
No, I will not.
I'm just kidding.
Because I have other things I have to do after, and it will kill my voice. But yeah, no. But I think I'm psyched because he's one of the main characters, and he's a lot of fun, and he's a really cute character. So I'm excited to see what happens with him. But then, I've got, another, big one called Serial Killers, which I'm playing Terror T, which is this version of Tony the Tiger from Kellogg's. So, it's a big tiger character, and it's all Serial Killers. I'll just give you a quick overview of it. It's all the different serial icons, all the little characters from all the different things, except they're fighters, and they're all thrown into an arena together. And it's a really cool thing. Really cool thing. And the demo should be out early 22. It was supposed to be out in 21, but they went back in, they did some things. But all my voice work is done for that. But that's a big growl. You know what I mean? Like, so you're growling, and there's a lot of work. I did about 12 hours straight just to get that stuff down. And when you're getting deep into the, you know what I mean? These snarls and stuff like that, it starts affecting the back of your throat if you're not sitting and keeping yourself hydrated.
Listen, every night at the end of the day, my voice just from Hunter, shut, close the door. Having a 16-year-old kid, come on. But I mean, I am like, I got to tell you, I am so impressed with that. That's like, and then with the video game stuff, like, you don't get involved with, like, because again, I'm going to go back to my 16-year-old because I always make everything about me. So he's a gamer. Yeah. He's a total gamer, the kid. And he's really good with computers. So like, I'm trying to think with my brain because I'm going to need someone to take care of me financially. So I'm like, okay, so you should learn how to animate video games.
Coding is great. Yeah.
He hates it. He won't code. I tell him, I keep telling him. He's like, I don't like coding. I'm like, yeah, you got to learn the coding, right? So that's what it is, right?
Yeah,
Tell him.
there's a lot of coding and everything. I mean, look, I'm not on that end of the spectrum. I don't know
No, you're the
how to do
talent.
that. I bring the
Right.
character to life. That's my job, and I love that job. I have ideas, but I don't know how to program the damn thing. Just like the shows, with the podcast, I don't know how to do any of the engineer work. We have all the top crap in the world. I mean, you walk in. I'm endorsed
I
by
see
Bayer
that.
Dynamic. I'm endorsed by what do you call it? By Zoom. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to use everything. When you're putting it all together, I suck at I suck at that.
No, oh,
Um,
you look what just happened. Look, my button popped open.
oh,
Um,
see, you're welcoming me. Can't tease me like that, Jen. You can't tease me. God
That's
damn it.
massacre.
God damn it. What do you call but what do you call it? But in terms of, oh my God, now I forgot what we were talking about. See, you
Of course
distracted
you
me.
would.
You distracted me. We're not
These
supposed to
things
show
distract a
the
lot.
cleavage is not supposed to distract me. Jesus Christ, Jen. What was I just talking about? I was talking
I
about
don't know.
not knowing about the equipment.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, not knowing about the technical stuff
Oh,
because you are the talent.
that's right.
We just get to walk in and be stars.
The what do you call it? I know one of the people that I'm working with, her name's Kim. We're doing I'm doing some voice work with her for the Lost Weld, which is a big fantasy game. Fantastic. My gal pal Erica Schroeder from Pokemon is in on it now. There are other people that I can't say because it's still NDA'd. But I'm playing Lord Scalacron on that one, and I had some input. I had a lot of input on my character itself. I had some input and ideas
Mhm.
for other things. But Kim is always looking for for help and young people that are looking to kind of get involved in the industry. So that might be an interesting introduction.
Hunter, are you listening to that?
So,
Take the coding class that I'm going to pay for. I'll pay for it.
but she might be able to give some kind of a direction in that as well. But she's doing the entire game in herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's incredible, and the stuff is beautiful. And we have a really cool cast for that game. I can't. I'm not at liberty to say everything because it's just NDA.
I mean, they're so cool. Listen, these games, this is not Space Invaders, okay? Like this is no
No,
Pac-Man. This shit,
no.
man. This stuff is cool.
But I love the the difference in all the game. I absolutely love doing the video game thing. I love doing the animated thing. One of my favorites is I do game day for what do you call it, the weaklings, and it's like just the sporty guy, and just it's funny because I get to do the that kind of a fun, just it's just a raspy voice and just fun. And another one I do with my buddy Greg Sipes from Teen Titans Go. I do we're working on Donut Baby, and what do you call it? I play was it Captain Frosting or General Frosting, whatever it is, and I do like a Gilbert Gottfried-ish type of voice. What do you call it? Commander Frosting. That's it. Sorry, it's been a minute. The pandemic kind of hurt that.
yeah.
But what do you call it? So he's over here like this, and he's going back and forth, and this donut baby, like it's just, I like to do the fun raspy voices, but I also like to do things that they don't expect, like the Beazle voice, where in a
Yeah.
million years you wouldn't expect that coming out of me, and
No,
yeah, I can send you a
Tom
clip of that,
Hanks.
yeah.
Yeah, when Tom Hanks was doing Toy Story, Academy Award winning. I don't know how many times Tom Hanks. He said that was the most challenging film that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Voice work, Toy Story, because when you're acting, the facial expressions is half the gig,
Oh,
but
yeah.
when you're doing what you're doing, it's all inside you without any facial expressions. It's all audio. It's just like, that is not an easy task. I'm in awe of it. Like, I think it's awesome. What's your favorite out of all the things you do? What's the favorite? The wrestling, the voiceovers, the just doing a regular podcast.
Talking to you, Jen. That's my favorite
I
thing.
knew that was going to be the answer. That's why I asked.
That's my favorite thing.
Oh my God.
And then my second favorite thing after that is being dad to my kids. You know what I mean? Having my family. So that's the biggest accomplishment that I've ever had. because, bringing life into the world, that's what it is. And again, all this other stuff is really fun. It's really cool. It's great. I love it. I love my life. I love being able to do the things I get to do and accomplishing what I get to accomplish and failing at the things I fail at. But, the coolest thing is, seeing, my children grow up and come into their own. And I'm psyched because even though they've all expressed a little bit of interest in entertainment here and there, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But they don't want to follow in dad's footsteps at all. But what do you call it? But my older daughter tried it when she was younger and she decided it wasn't for her. What do you call it? And then my son and I are actually doing we're currently filming for a television series. What do you call it? Which is supposed to be on one of the big networks, but streaming networks. So I can't say it right now because we're still under NDA, but we're going to start plugging that on social media shortly. So everybody will know about it soon enough, but we're going to be doing some stuff together. We've already started filming for that. And then also my little one, Haley, just got cast in one of the video games that I'm cast in, and she did it all on her own. She did it. She auditioned and she got the part, and she was super psyched about that. So the coolest thing for me is getting to see them do cool stuff, and hopefully that they'll be able to do just enjoy the path that I've kind of laid out. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah. You're such a it's like every answer. You're so genuine and sweet, and who'd have thunk it? If I would have seen you like wrestling, you always think that they're like mean, but
some people are. Some
yeah.
people are.
Who's the one? I can't break his anonymity, but it has to do with recovery. How I know him, and I can't believe I don't remember his name. Oh no, that wasn't wrestling. That was another guy. That was the blonde guy. Back in the day. I don't know. Where's producer Nick? He left. It doesn't matter. But the other guy, Hulk Hogan, right?
Hogan. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Hogan had substance abuse. I don't know.
No. That's what I was thinking of, and I got him confused with the bounty hunter who does.
Oh my God, Dog the bounty hunter. Let's not go there.
Yeah, I met him a couple times. I got stuck in a hole with him in a corner.
Oh.
I couldn't get out of.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm okay, sir. I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done talking to you.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know how that got him.
That mullet will scare people. Woo. Yeah.
He had a good heart. He was just giving away like a lot of misinformation. Like, okay, so I'm sitting here. I don't have a lot of sobriety, obviously. I just relapsed. So I invite experts in, and we talk about, but he's sitting here. He went into a treatment center and he's giving advice about how to stay sober. Okay. And the dude has like 2 days. So Brim, I love you. I know you have a crazy day, and we both have crazy days. We actually went over. That's how fast it went.
Oh,
so I hope you're not that fast when I see you here in Miami.
No. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. So, all right. Tell us about your podcast. Plug your podcast.
Sure.
And so whatever you want to give a plug to, and we'll call it a day, baby.
Make sure you hit up the Grindhouse Radio, thegrindhouseradio.com. It is a lot of fun. We'll take you on a nice, beautiful whirlwind of pop culture adventures. A lot of fun there, and we always have another special guest on every single week. New episodes Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we do a live on Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mr. Greer and myself, both from the Grindhouse Radio, do Truly Inconsequential. We do it on our via the website, thegrindhouseradio.com, as well as live on Facebook and Twitch and all that stuff. It's still somewhat new, so hopefully people will check us out, and we pretty much debate the consequentiality of different pop culture characters from across time. And then you can also get Within Brim's Skin every Tuesday. Also the Dirty Little Secrets Club every Tuesday. I do with Dana Pereira. Awesome show. If you like sex, you like secrets.
I want to go on that show.
I'll bring you on there. I can bring you on that.
I like Sex and Secrets.
I can bring you on that one. And that's a hell of a lot of fun. And in general, you want to find out anything about me, you want to just ride the Brimstone train of all the stuff I do, go to therealbrimstone.com. Everything's up there. There are a couple things that I still have not added, but it'll take you on adventures and down a rabbit hole that you probably don't want to go down. Also, I'm I'm on all social media, but I'm very heavy on Instagram at The Real Brimstone. It's verified. It's me. I respond to you personally. It's always me. It's not my wife. It's not my assistant. It's always me. So please, feel free to reach out, comment. I'm very big on engagement. Please comment on the posts. I will always respond back. And listen, support each other. You know what I mean? If you're having, just as a closing statement, if you're having issues, you need help, call somebody. Make sure you let it be known, so this way people can help you. And then once they do, make sure to help yourself, because we want you here. And again, feel free to contact me if you need any more assistance that somebody else can't provide. So,
love you. Thank you. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you soon. Okay.
Thanks so much, Jen. Love you guys. Mwah.
Love you. Sober Exposure with me, Jen Wild. We'll see you next week.
Need more? Of course you do. The show's all about needing more. Go to my website at soberexposure.show or get stuck on my Instagram at soberexposure_podcast.